Hey good people, this is Ahmed Minawa from MinawaTube, and today we're going to talk about the final update for the Phuket Sandbox. The Phuket Sandbox has been this long story that everybody has been talking about for a very long time, and finally it's here. In a couple of days on 1st July, people are going to be able to come to Thailand and try out this Phuket Sandbox, which I think is a very good thing. At least it's a step ahead rather than we always contemplating about it and talking about it and nothing happening. So finally it's going to start, the government approved it, and in this video I'm going to tell you all the information and the details. Whether you're already booked and you're coming for sure for the Phuket Sandbox, or you're not yet sure and you want to lean to one of the two directions, whether to come or not to come, I'm going to give you all the final updates and all the information that will make you make a decision today after watching this video. So let's start the video. Since the last video 2 weeks ago, some things have changed, and the most important thing that has changed is no longer that after 7 days from staying in Phuket you can go to the other provinces. So you cannot go to other provinces on the 8th day, as I said in my last video. So now you have to stay in Phuket for 14 days, and on the 15th day you're allowed to go to other parts of Thailand. You can go to Chonburi, you can go to other parts of Thailand, and it's totally fine. So that is the most important. You have to remember that don't go there and after 8 days try to get out. They're not going to allow you to do that. So after the 14th day, the 15th day, you can go to other provinces. So if you're not willing to stay in Thailand for more than 14 days, or you're not willing to stay in Phuket for 14 days, you can actually leave the country. It's not a problem. They're not going to keep you there by force to stay there for 14 days. You can actually leave the country after 6, 7, whatever number of days before the 14 days, but you have to leave directly from Phuket airport and you travel directly out of the country to your country directly, or to another country that I will allow you to enter. So yeah, that's very important and you need to know that information. The next thing that you also need to know is that they are only accepting people from low to medium risk countries. So if your country is listed in one of the is under the list for one of the countries which are high risk for COVID-19, they're not going to allow you to participate in the sandbox of Phuket. So if you're low to medium, you're totally fine. You can come to Thailand and you can actually enjoy this sandbox experiment and actually enjoy Thailand after the 14 days and go wherever you want. So these are very important updates that you need to know about for now. So let's say you decided to come. So what are the things that are required from you? What are the requirements? First of all, you have to have proof of vaccination. You have to have a paper, anything that's stamped and certified by your government that you are actually vaccinated. So that in that way you'll be allowed on the plane from your country to actually travel to Thailand, Phuket in particular. So you will not be able to go to Bangkok and then from Bangkok you transit to Phuket. You go to Phuket directly. There is some rumors saying that you can transit from Bangkok, but I don't actually advise you to do that. Just try to get your flight, even though it might be more expensive, but just try to get your flight directly from your country directly to Phuket, and don't get out of that whole headache and why did you come to Bangkok and stuff like that. So you have to have proof that you are actually vaccinated. That's number one. You have to have a test before you leave. You have to be tested before you leave your country, and that doesn't have to be 72 hours or later than 72 hours before you arrive to Thailand. So that is very important, those 2 points. Another point also is like your vaccination. You have to have got the vaccine not less than 14 days before you arrive to Thailand. So it has to be like 1 month, 2 months or something like that, and not more than 12 months, which is impossible because nobody got it 1 year ago. So yeah, you don't have to have the vaccine not less than 14 days. So if you vaccinate now, you can come on 1st July. So you have to vaccinate and wait for 16 days, and then after you can travel to Thailand and you can travel to Phuket and try the sandbox out. So these are some also important points, and there's some more points I want to tell you about. For example, if you're coming with your family, if you're adults, all of you have to be vaccinated. But if you have a kid less than 6 years old, they don't need to be vaccinated. As long as the parents are vaccinated, they're totally fine, less than 6 years old. If you have kids who are between 16 and 18, they have to be tested on arrival. So they will test them whether they have COVID-19 or no, but they don't have to be vaccinated. But most importantly, anyone above the age of 18 has to be fully vaccinated and has to have proof of that vaccination. So yeah, that's very important in case you're coming here with your family. So some of the other requirements you need to have in case you decide to come to Thailand for the Phuket Sandbox you have to have a COVID-19 insurance, health insurance. That's very important for you, by the way, not for the Thai government. It's very important for you. The Thai government requires it, but it's important for you. In case something goes wrong and you get some kind of illness that's connected to COVID-19, at least it will cover all your expenses. It's gonna be very expensive if you go to a hospital here when you're not insured and it's a private hospital. It's gonna cost you a lot. So guys, it's really good for you to get the COVID-19 insurance and keep that thing safe, especially if you're coming with your family, and especially if you have some members of your family who are not vaccinated. So that's very important for you to have the COVID-19 insurance. Another thing, you need to have a certificate of entry, COE. It's very important. You need to check with the Thai embassy in your country and see how to get that certificate of entry. It's no longer as difficult as it was before. For this Phuket Sandbox, they're making a lot of things easy. So the certificate of entry is very important. Another point is, like, you can't get out to Phuket airport and just go to any hotel you feel like. You have to go to a certain kind of hotel. They're called the SHA Plus hotels. They're certified safety, health administration certified hotels. They take care of you, and they're the ones who are responsible to take care of all the travelers coming for the Phuket Sandbox. So that's very important. I'll put a link for you in the description to show you all the hotels in Phuket that you can get that are certified like that. One more thing I want to tell you guys about, and which is not talked about a lot in many of the YouTube videos that are talking about the Phuket Sandbox, is that the government actually said that if the cases in Phuket rises during the Phuket Sandbox, if it rises over 90 cases per week, they're actually gonna cancel out the whole Phuket Sandbox experiment. So if it's more than 90 cases a week because of the tourists coming from abroad, they get more than 90 cases per week for a couple of weeks, they're going to cancel it out, and whoever register or something, it's all gone. So guys, be very careful when you want to book for this Phuket Sandbox. Make sure that everything is okay. So now if you already booked and you want to come for the Phuket Sandbox, that's great. You can go ahead and try it out. If you didn't decide yet that you want to come for the Phuket Sandbox, you can wait for a couple of weeks, let's say 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and make sure that, okay, now I want to come for the Phuket Sandbox, and then learn about all the requirements, learn about all the updates, and then after you can go ahead. So yeah, that's the very important news about Phuket Sandbox. Here's one last thing I want to tell you about some updates happening in other islands and other parts of Thailand. So finally guys, some other islands are trying to actually get into this idea of like sandbox. They're gonna do it separately, not like Phuket. And some of these islands are Koh Samui, Koh Phangan, and Koh Tao. They're also trying to enter into this idea. They're gonna try to start it on 15th July. It's not yet sure, but by 15th July they want to try it out. And also there's another big news that the Thai Prime Minister is actually planning to open the country completely by October. So if you're really patient and you don't have anything to worry about and you can just come to Thailand whenever, you can wait until October. At least things will be way clearer. But if you really love Thailand and you want to come to these beautiful beaches and you want to be alone there, not a lot of people, and it's not crowded, you can come to Thailand now and try out the Sandbox, Phuket Sandbox, and then be free to move around Thailand as much as you like. So that's it for this video guys. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to the channel please guys. I need the subscribers, and thank you very much for watching. So see you in the next video.